Hi all, we are taking a closer look at the deck Mindful Living Inspiration Cards by Katie Rose, Rockpool Publishing. It's part of my recommended deck for one's well-being. This is what the two-piece box will look like in front and around. It has this lovely pink tone of colors that gives it this nice peaceful vibe to the theme of the deck. At the back of the box, it gives you a brief summary of the deck. It's all about the deepening relationship within oneself and how these cards can uplift and guide you overall. It's very nice deck piece that's broken into four different types that we'll further look at, but overall very solid two box piece set, very secure for the cards, and the general theme looks very nice, fonts and everything, so it's very attractive, has that very peaceful sort of energy towards it. So when you open the box, what you get inside, you get this nice little stand. Now, I don't really use it. It is somewhat flimsy, but it's it's a nice courtesy to have. So that's there that you're presented within the box. So you got the little stand there. Maybe one or two cards will sit comfortably on there, but anything more, it's not really great. But it's there as a bonus. And then you're presented with the cards. Very lovely colors as well. That blend of pink, purplish, light tones, very peaceful. So that's all you get in the box. You do have this section there that if you lift up, there's absolutely nothing there. You just got the geometry sort of symbols there. So that's everything in the box, the two-piece box, the cards themselves, and the stand. You do get this little booklet, but there's not a lot. I think it's only about 11, 12 pages overall. It does kind of slightly explain how to use the cards and in the various ways that these cards can be beneficial. So you could include it in your meditation practice to kind of like prompt some inspiration in any sort of like groups that you may have. Or I think this is where they're great, the moments of stress that you may have, or early in the morning. Again, a lot of it is around the philosophy, the yoga philosophies, various different moon phases. So it kind of demonstrates to you the use of these decks when they could possibly be beneficial to you. And like I said in the book, it does explain there are four types of cards that covers the variations of your body and energy. You've got the physical aspects, talks about the physical parts of your body. Subtle energies is all about the chakras, energy fields, and it also includes your mind and your heart, the energy fields within themselves. So it gives you a little bit, nothing in depth, nothing so big for you to pick up on. You got the mind and emotion cards. It goes on to explain that. And lastly, you have the spirit soul cards. Mind and emotion is all about the feelings that you'll be feeling. Maybe you're feeling resentful and so on. And at the very back, you'll get one page about the author. And that's about it. So it's just a little leaflet, just gives you basic sort of foundation of the overall deck in itself. So, there's no book to refer to. Each cards, these are affirmation cards, not oracle. Each of these cards will have affirmations in the center regarding a particular part. So this is what the back of each cards will look like. Again, there's four different types. This is one type here. It's all got its one unique design. Beautiful sort of shapes and colors as well. I love the color. I think the color is perfect. The toning of it, very nice. Very tranquil and peaceful. So these are each of the design at the back of the separate themes. Now, I don't know how you could see right here, it indicates to you at the back of the card what type of card it is or what it's associated with. One, you had the spirit here. This symbol and the cards in there would be all about the mind and the emotions. Again, colors slightly differs to each particular card. A closer look at the deck itself. It's laminated, gloss, not too so glossy like some other decks up there, but they're very glossy. You get a closer look at the design. Overall, it's a nice size deck. It's a standard Oracle size deck, not so big. I've got medium size hand. Now the cards are on the thin side, I would say. So, it's not so bad. Nice to shuffle with. I think they're perfect size. The stock quality overall, because they're laminated, it's pretty good. So these will last you for quite some times. Overall quality, I think it's great. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. Lovely design. So let's have a close look inside of the card. So you could see here how lovely the design is. You could see the lamination of it. It's nicely brought together. This is the spirit and soul card. You could see there you've got the symbols, you've got the affirmation right in the center there. Pretty good quality cards. So let's have a look at our first type card. This is the physical body type. This is what the back will look like. And in front of the cards, it's got its own unique design. And again, it will highlight to you what type card it is. There is a total of 9 cards for the body type. Each has an affirmation of our physical body we identify ourselves with. The affirmation message intention is to help you in releasing any possible trauma or hurt in your physical body, something to get you started with in your recovery or help you maintain a healthy body and sort of like mindset. And you could see it here in each of its messages that are quite fairly positive. Again, you've got this circle that is a symbolism of your body itself, so that embodies you and the message within that. And it's the messages are positive, and it kind of initiates things for you. So it's a good starting point. A lot of it is around the appreciation of your physical body, being grateful, recognizing how much it does for you. That it's not just you in this, it's a vessel that is there for you. And a lot of the messages that's being sort of like portrayed on these cards tends to just remind you of that, how beautiful you are as a person. So it's like looking into the mirror and not being so hard on yourself as well. So again, like I said, the messages are to help you in your recovery and to maintain that healthy body and sort of like mindset as well. So each of them have their unique sort of like designs of each cards. And there is the back of the card just to show you. So that was the physical body type cards. Our next one is the subtle body. This is the primary design at the back of the card. Now, this card primarily talks about the energy fields outside of our body and inside of your body. And again, you could see how they take a completely different design. Color theme seems to remain the same. Messages are, on top. It will kind of indicate to you what part of the chakra it's addressing, what the affirmation is based on, and then underneath that you'll get the affirmation messages. The subtle body card is about the energy within and around you, the vibrations and feelings. It can assist you to amplify the energies, align yourself if you'll come out of alignment with your chakras or have a deeper connection with the energies. So each card has its symbol also in the center, for the exception of the heart, mind, and energy protection shield. That wouldn't have a symbol. But the chakra themselves, they have their own symbols. And it's unfortunate it doesn't show the colors. Maybe that would have been nice, but it seems as though they wanted to keep the theme sort of like going without any sort of color, maybe sticking it out. There's a lot of positive affirmation messages, as you can see. They are very encouraging. Repeated a few times, of course, will empower you. So overall, it does what it tends to do. What you will get out of it, I guess you still do need to work with it and kind of like work with that energy of that card and kind of repeat the message back to yourself until you kind of like have that connection. But overall, same design, simple messages, nothing too much in depth. Heart and mind here, you could see there's no symbols for those two cards, the energy cards. And this is what it will look like at the back of the cards. A very nice color. So that was that card type. Let's have a look at our next card type. We have the spirit and the soul. There's its primarily symbol at the back of that card, and in front, again, its own unique design, its own way of representing the spirit and soul. You've got the indication up there of what card it is, different design, and on going down you'll have sort of like the keywording or the particular area that it's covering, and then underneath that you'll have the affirmation, and it pretty much goes along with the theme and does the same thing as the other cards. The Spirit Soul cards focus is around spiritual beings of the universe, the world, nature, the natural world, how they can provide guidance, support. They help us in our connection to spirit, and how it can help in our healing process and in our self-confidence as well. The positive affirmation aims overall at connecting us to the higher potential self. So a lot of the messages that you'll be getting pretty much it leads to pretty much that goal. So they're positive. They represent various different spiritual aspects of things to make us be aware of. Now, there are times the cards can refer to goddesses and goddess, which may not mean anything to you. So parts of the messages here in this deck can be quite subjective and may not be for everyone. Well, it's not going to be for everyone. Also, the problem you may have in this card type subject, or even the other cards type, is after the initial affirmation message, once you've read it, you may come out thinking, okay, I read it, so now what? And this is the part you need to be aware of, and what it means when, I say this is an affirmation deck. It's not really an oracle. It's to inspire, to get you started. It's not going to hold your hands and guide you through the process like Oracle decks and Tarot. My advice, or an example of good use, is to use these decks to prompt a question for the week that you may use to ask the Tarot or Oracle, to initiate a reading with, and then follow through from there. So just sort of like keep that in mind. Our last card type is mind and emotion. Again, it's got its unique shape, its own unique colors. A little bit more purple is showing up in there, and it pretty much follows the same trend where it in bigger bold letters, it will indicate what areas the affirmation is referring to, and then underneath that you'll have the specific affirmation to read. So it's very sort of like nice design. Everything is clear to see. Again, it keeps that theme, the color sort of palettes throughout. It's a very gorgeous looking card. Managing frustration, affirmation. I am centered in my body. I dissipate frustration by using tools such as breathing, a walk, a glass of water. So here, the mind and emotion deck type. The mind and emotion cards is about discharging of energies on the emotional level. So whatever you have absorbed that is not positive and needs to be let go of, needs to be released, these cards will pretty much assist you in that. So if you have blocks, things that you are angry about, feeling resentful towards, anything that you're jealous about, various different forms of insecurities, the affirmation messages being repeated should provide you a form of imprints to kind of release that which doesn't serve you. So, the messages here kind of like pinpoints certain things, not every area, but again, it's how could I say? It's not anything deep. It's just, again, inspirational messages that will start you off in healing, in working. It's Again, like I said, it's all about these decks, whichever types you think about, it's going to somewhat slow you down, Take a deep breath, take it easy. Here's this message, realize what's going on, take this in. Now, keep reminding yourself, it's providing you a form of inspiration, and it will get you started for you to use other forms of practice that you are already doing to apply, further progress towards that. So that is the mind and emotion cards, and this is what it looks at the back. So that is the mindful living deck. It's an inspiration deck, an affirmation deck. It's okay. I mean, it's quite fairly limited. Don't think it's an oracle. I think if you go into it thinking it's an oracle and it's going to help you even further, you're going to be disappointed. If you want something to just start you off, kick you off, then I would recommend this deck. Hope you've enjoyed. Look out for the next one.